I'll record it from here on
Okay.
out. I'm sorry.
No,
Uh,
I've got notes. I just tend to double check it for the minutes. That's all. But we'll
yeah,
be fine.
That's all right. All the good stuff's about to come.
yeah, right, right. My main area of change occurs on page 3, item E, summary of accomplishments since the 2013 town plan. Now that needs to be the 2018 town plan. Uh, we create another hazard mitigation plan. Uh, and so that can remain. That was revised. The second one can be deleted. Uh, we are now the owners of the Brookline Meeting House and the school building. Uh, I would suggest that we add that we've made a tremendous number of road and culvert infrastructure improvements to include town roads such as Putney Mountain Road, Grassy Brook Road, Parker Road, and Whitney Hill Road. And Hill Road for that matter. We've made some replacements and done some work there. We should add that we've made uh, condition and structural improvements to the meeting house and also to the elementary school. The meeting house, we have had the windows redone recently. We had replaced the stone foundation to the annex portion of the meeting house. We've placed, I hope this is the proper term, an in-ground roof, which is a polarized membrane under the eaves on both the south and north side to eliminate the water aggregately congregating in the crawl space below the vestry part of the building. And in the elementary school, we put in heat pumps, taken or made not use the old antiquated heating system. Trees have been removed around the site to keep the potential for lightning strikes and such to take those trees down and hit the building. And there have been a number of other condition improvements. Most of the toilets have been replaced, etc., in that building. And there was a mold remediation work that was done by Mark and Bruce. Under item F, of course, we've got a whole new planning committee in existence. I would suggest that since Donald got us going at one point as the chair, that we include his name in the list of commissioners, although not currently active or not active. We do still apparently have one person vacancy as a result that the select board will need to take care of in terms of an appointment. There's a statement under item F. It's I guess the second paragraph that says the planning commission submits a report of its findings to the select board annually. I was not aware that that was any kind of condition. Perhaps in the report, we might designate a time of the year or month of the year when that is to happen. Of course, in the next paragraph, we're changing the date. The town planning commission has seriously taken into consideration responses in a June 1, 2024 survey. So update that date down below in G, the appropriate changes of dates. We had 65 surveys, I believe, that went out. We've got 42 that were answered. And then there are all kinds of percentage calculations, which I assume Matt will make changes to when you go over to pages 5 through 13 and look at the detailed data that Matt is gonna be putting together for us. It's, it's not gonna take him 15 minutes to do that. Not to mention that apparently in the last plan, when you look at pages 12 and 13, they included all the comments that were in the surveys that the planning committee had received. I don't know whether that's something we should continue to do this time around or not. The next pages 14 through all these maps with the graph, et cetera, with population, of course, have changed. I think we're now down to 540 instead of 450 instead of 540, if I'm not mistaken. The economy is the economy. There weren't many changes you can make there. I'm sure Matt will update that information. I don't think on page 23, when you get into the paragraph just above economic recommendations, there are the CSAs that were on Grassy Brook Road, I believe, are all gone. I don't think they're there anymore, so that is going to involve in our review of Matt's work an alteration. Housing is housing. I don't think there's going to be much for review there, other than the numbers, percentages are going to change. We're now up to energy. That seems to be pretty careful, although I did not look to see if there was any reference at all to the fact that the town has upgraded the heating system in the meeting house. Just basically on 27 and 8 is dealing with upgrades, and certainly solar was talked about. I don't think that was ever going to be really implemented here in the town office or the elementary or where the daycare center was. Let me see. Page 32 under childcare B, last paragraph in that section. With it closing, that paragraph obviously will have to be changed. Maybe even the first paragraph as well. Transportation is pretty set, I think. Under transportation recommendations, we got the Stone Arch Bridge. There are issues about whether or not we should have a bigger budget for the highway department. We have one plus person now with the highway department. I understand they're doing more work with those two people than someone said. I overheard a conversation. We did more in 3 days than previously had been done in 3 weeks with just one employee. Let's see. I think the fire protection and the fire fundraising sources are, there are all kinds of things there. We donate to the mutual aid, about 10,000. We donate $10,000 to the Newburgh Fire Department. They hold bingo, they hold 4th of July parties, all for profit. So there are other kinds of support that the town provides them that is not listed here that could be. I'm not sure that under emergency planning and disasters, the link on page 36 is still accurate or not. I suspect it is not. On the top of page 37, somebody the last time around referred to a program that I do not believe we still participate in. What we now have is something under ALT watershed division regarding it's called MRGP. It's the Municipal Roads General Permit number 30-9040. There's an official program. It's part of that official program. In the second paragraph in particular of that page, the town did adopt state codes and standards in 2019. And as a result of that MRGP program, there is now an inventory that's required to be completed and maintained by the town, which it has since 2019. And there needs to be by the end of each year a what's called RO REI program, which represents the roads that are under care and supervision, and reporting the status update from them from the original status that was provided in 2019. So there's an annual report. And there's also generally about April 1st of this year, I suspect Michael was asked by Melissa, our treasurer, to sign the annual fee report and submit a check for $600 with it. Hopefully that happened, or it's part of this new thing that we're dealing with.
Is that submitted to?
It's submitted to, I think AOT indirectly or specific division of AOT.
Okay.
Let me see. Solid waste disposal, they've got us down using Triple T. We no longer use Triple T. I believe Wyndham Solid Waste Management District picks up the materials, and then those that are recycled are delivered to Casella, I believe in Rutland, or Rutland sends the truck down to Brattleboro to pick up the stuff. So we're still in the same recycling process, but it's different vendors. Triple T is no longer in business, and I think Casella might have taken over the Brattleboro salvage. Let's see. And in town government, I think on page 40, we only have, to my knowledge, in the town report, 2 school directors. This particular paragraph under town government on page 40 references 3 school board directors, 1 for Leland and Gray, and apparently 2 for the elementary, but I think we only have 2, and those 2 cover the Leland and Gray and the elementary school. That's something that I don't have a definitive answer for, but I believe that needs modification and correction from what's in this plan at this time. Let me see.
So do those people sit on those Wyndham Schools District Board or something?
Yeah.
And they do some votes now and then, or,
Actually, they have more power than they are willing to exercise, frankly.
okay.
And they're yeah, yeah.
I guess where I'm going is that I never hear those people provide any information
No.
back to the town.
They have to be asked. In the past, way back when I had asked
Yeah.
one evening that people show up and tell us what's going on.
Yeah. Who are the people?
Sarah Webb, who lives on Illinois Road,
Yeah.
and then I forget her first name, but the last name is Jilson.
Jilson?
Jillson.
Okay.
And yeah, she's sharp. Both are sharp people, but
Yeah.
there needs to be some kind of communication.
Okay.
And then when I got to C on page 45 and stuff on 46, I realized that the flood maps that we currently have are going to expire this year, and we're going to have new flood maps in 2026. And virtually almost every property along Grassy Brook, to some degree, will be in a floodplain under the new maps. The intersection of Parker Road and Grassy Brook Road, Leah, right where your house is, that area, Oliver's across the road, most of the properties along the river, the Nystrom's down here across from where Archie Clark lives, a lot of the properties that are further down toward the West River, and properties that go further up to the Athens town line. Many of those are going to be partly, if not fully, in a floodplain. Not all of them, but
Will those maps be, they won't be available obviously in time for this plan. So we should reference the existing maps, but note that they will be public at some point in the near future.
Well, we probably ought to check with Matt, but I have a concern. I thought about that as well, and I don't know how to handle it. I'm wondering if we should at least mention that they're going to be updated in 2026, and there's a strong likelihood that many properties along Grassy Brook will be deemed to be in the floodplain. When I read this page, I think somewhere on it, it references houses along the West River.
Sure.
But it says nothing about the fluvial erosion that's happened along Grassy Brook. So I don't know whether we should say something or let it go, but if we know ahead of time that there is going to be a change, it would seem, again, we can clarify that with this and that we ought to at least mention it.
Yeah, but can I just comment on, my thought would be that, I don't know how these things work, but if that's such an important piece of information that if we have something in draft, if we have the drafts, which is I think what you're saying is out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Possibly we might consider putting those drafts in because they probably more likely represent reality than the existing ones. You know, even if they're not exactly the same in final format, they're probably a lot closer to what the final is gonna look like than the existing ones in the existing plan.
I suspect that Matt will have an answer for us.
Yeah,
Yep.
Because he rightfully
yeah,
should have been asked by Jamaica.
Yeah.
Townsend.
Yeah.
Newthane,
yeah,
the same question.
Yeah.
These changes are coming. I mean, you look at parts of Townsend where Camporama is near the Harmonyville store, that is all on lowland. And at certain times in the spring, there's a lot of water that comes up to some of those mobile homes.
Yep.
So there are changes all along the line. We won't be the only one asking that question.
yeah, good point.
Yeah. So I'm flexible, whatever he thinks is accurate and appropriate. I will say this, as a part of the review of those tentative maps, we had to agree with the company that provided them that we would not share them with anyone,
Oh,
period.
oh,
So I don't know how that fits into, I mean, there have been people in town that want to buy property in this town. And the houses they're interested in are in that, and keep the town clerk in a knowledgeable scenario. She emailed me saying, do you have any idea about this particular property in the floodplain, being in a floodplain? And I had to tell her that it currently does not show, but in future maps, it most likely will, knowing that it actually did.
Yeah.
And advising her that the company that dispersed those to us to evaluate and approve or not approve said do not share them with anybody. So I'm kind of honored.
Let me just jump in. Just as a quick word of caution, I would suggest that we kind of table this discussion because anything that's in the, this is a public meeting, anything in the plan would be public and sort of implicitly endorsed by the town. So we would obviously want to stick to whatever's publicly available. Taking off my homeowner in a floodplain hat and putting on my risk professional hat, I would just say we should probably table any discussion of this, get advice from Matt, and just, to the extent that we need to reference that we are aware that there are other maps under development, we can do that and just leave it at that.
You're going to charge for that information, Miss Attorney?
Sounds good.
I never went to law school, but I know some.
Okay. And that's as far as I got. So it's not detailed. There's obviously many other paragraphs that are going to depend on what's changed above, but that's the highlight for me in those pages.
Yeah.
I'm sure I missed.
Yeah, the only thing, so I will, now that we're recording it, I can capture it in the minutes as well. I think that like your level of review of it kind of indicates and underscores the need for us to have, whatever the right format is, but the meeting with Matt, where we kind of go through, it's not quite line by line, but like a lot of these things that we just know by virtue of living in the town need to be updated. And I think that extends through some of the next sections. The only sort of material thing I would add is there's a sort of like extremely charming history section that is, I'm sure, like the product of, kind of past planning and things like that, and isn't required in the plan. So if we wanted to kind of streamline or simplify the plan, I'm not putting it forward that we would, but that would be an easy piece to remove and obviously keep for posterity. But I'm not sure how much value it adds, to the planning process per se.
I hear you.
So I agree with everything I'm hearing. I also have a half a dozen or so observations. And these are, I was trying to use what I thought I heard from Matt, which was, is there something really out of whack? With where the direction of the town, let me know. So if I could go next, uh, I have on page 2, it says the goals of the town plan. And there are 8 or 9 goals. And as I read through the goals, they seemed like they would be reasonable goals to continue in the next plan, with the possible exception of number 5. And it says, one of the goals of the town plan is to expand access to educational and vocational training opportunities sufficient to ensure the full realization of the abilities of all Brookline residents.
I agree. I actually had it highlighted.
Okay.
I didn't bring it because how the hell do we do that? We're providing bus service. I mean, what else do we need to do?
I don't think we really have this as a goal, at least if Matt said, hey, do you think that the town still has these as goals? My reaction would be not that one. I don't know anything about any goal or effort or work or even sense of priority to that one.
I concur with you.
The rest of them seemed pretty good, pretty likely to be continued goals of the plan. As a matter of fact, a lot of them were smack dab. I know their goals of the town. So I would pass on that one. I'm gonna skip to page 27, where we talk about energy. And there's a lot of talk in here about wind energy. I don't think the town has any interest in pursuing wind energy. So I think it supports the notion of people pursuing solar, right? But I don't think it has any interest in supporting pursuit of wind energy. So consider taking that out as any kind of a statement, a goal. That's, if I was pointing out something to Matt, that's something I would point out to him. And it's referred to a couple of times. And as a matter of fact, I'm personally turning on wind energy, I think, a little bit. Okay. Uh, as as I said earlier, I would cut and paste anything that says disaster hazard mitigation, delete it, and then cut and paste some appropriate sections from our updated plan and put it there in place of it. And it starts on kind of page 36, but it's sprinkled in a few different places. The hazard mitigation planning. Probably it's very similar, but I would just, for ease of date, cut and paste it. Um, on page 41. Hey, sidebar question. In this section, as we get further back, there's like something, recommendations. It says some sort of a policy and then recommendations.
Yep.
Whose recommendations are those? Are those the Wyndham regional recommendations?
Where do you see that?
They're ours. I mean, that I think is part of the problem is, to be honest. So like I'm looking, for example, at the same, and I had the same question. Under Earth and Mineral Resources, we have three policies, which are assure that extraction meets certain criteria. And then there's recommendations that say like, work with this group, work with that group, do these things. And I don't believe that we have any mechanism to do that. Like a lot of the recommendations and policies would rely on some kind of land use planning, which doesn't exist here. So I think one of the questions, and I'm sorry, Mike, if I'm jumping on you or your question, but like one of my questions for Matt is like, we may have things that we think are good ideas, but unless there is something that can be acted upon or there's the will to act upon them, I don't know that they belong in this plan. And there's a lot of that in the plan, particularly like in the natural resources section, for example.
Yeah, so a lot of, you're right, and I think there's places where it sounds like somebody decided we need to say this either because it sounded good or it was mandated by somebody that we somehow have these statements.
Yeah.
But we're not doing anything with it, and it's not part of any plan that we had or have going forward.
Yeah.
So that led me to page 41, but you're right that Leah, there's more than this. On page 41, this under telecommunications policies, it lists certain policies. Then it says telecommunication recommendations. Review the telecommunication ordinance as a new model ordinances become available and update the ordinance as appropriate. I'm like, what? That seems like not something that I would understand should be in the next plan.
Well, and I mean, my understanding too, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is these are supposed to operate like strategic plans to some degree, right? Like, so traditional corporate strategic planning, which is, what I know better, is like you have a mission, you have a vision, or nonprofit planning. You list all the things you want to do, and then you have a plan about how you're going to execute against it. And I think this is that, but without any intention to execute against it or any accountable parties. So like traditionally you would, if you have recommendations, you'd say, and here's how we're going to do them, and here's who's responsible. And then those people would have a project plan going forward. And so to me, that's a piece of the criticism we got in the last one, was like, you say a lot of stuff, but you don't assign it to anybody. And therefore 8 years later, none of it's been done. So I want to understand, is there a goal of like acknowledging that these are things that could happen and then just simply saying like, we're not going to do them? Or, or do we just not even acknowledge, and this, John, you probably have more experience in this realm than anybody. So, that was a source of confusion for me. We say a lot of stuff, but we didn't, plan to execute on it, I guess.
So let me just make a comment, and let me take a specific example. A lot of this is obviously land use and planning and so forth, hazard mitigation. There are some services and some economic issues, such as the closing of the preschool, of the daycare, and whether we should try to say that there should be some prescription for that, whether, we need this services and these are the type of things that we should do, or we should find somebody for that space, or in looking at a long-term plan, it doesn't necessarily need to be just the land use or the planning aspects of it. It can be the economic and the services. And what I'm seeing is that we identify concrete things that are going to happen, like the daycare is going to close, but we're not looking, and it's maybe not our time, and maybe we don't have the capability to say, well, these are the things that the town should be trying to do to try to provide this service.
My reaction, so I agree with that. I agree with all that, except that I don't know the history of this, but I didn't get the impression, but I could be wrong, that the reason that daycare center is there, I didn't get the impression that the town proactively decided we should have daycare for our citizens. So we went out and produced this daycare service.
You're accurate.
I got the impression it was more a matter of, we had an empty building. The daycare people must have approached us and said, hey, we'd like to run a business there. And we said, sure. And that would be a nice thing. And there are benefits to the local town people. But it wasn't necessarily, oh, we need that service. We went out, we put it in. Now that it's leaving, we need to figure out how to replace it. But you've been here and I have.
That's roughly what happened. In fact, when they combined the two elementary schools, and the children from Brookline ended up going to school in Newfane.
Yeah.
The building was vacant.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was owned by the school board.
Yeah.
And they, being part of the school board, it became part of the West River
Yeah.
Modified
Yeah.
Educational Unit.
Yeah.
The superintendent had the building, it was not used.
Yeah.
And one of the residents here in Brookline thought that it might be a good idea to have a daycare center. She was of the mind to follow that concept. She approached the school and they were willing to rent it because it was unoccupied and, you know, if it's not in use, it sometimes can fall into disrepair for various
Yeah.
reasons. So they basically initiated a contract with her
Okay,
for, I think it was a 3 or 5 year period. At some point, the school realized they were in over the head operating a rental facility.
Yeah.
And they were going to sell the building to somebody.
yeah,
So they approached the town and said, before they approached anybody else, we're thinking of selling it. Is the town of Brookline interested? And at that point, negotiations started. There were a lot of complexities because it was added on to back in the late 80s with a particular kind of loan from the Department of Education.
mhm,
As a result of that loan, the town just simply couldn't take it over. Because that loan had to be paid back by somebody that taxpayers or school system or something. So ultimately what happened is talking with legislators, making some phone calls, the town of Brookline got the Department of Education to make a concession in terms of what they would do if the town took it over, and then at some point the town decided to sell it. It was not significantly adversely affecting the town of Brookline. So the town of Brookline took possession of the property, I think for $1. And at that point, took over the lease and renegotiated the lease, and then that lady sold the business to another person, so.
yeah.
There was no active part of Brookline wanting to have it's the early educational center there for
Yeah.
daycare center there. It was purely a matter of luck, happenstance,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we were stuck with it.
yeah.
Um,
But
So,
if a community has a business, and
Yeah.
that employs a lot of people, I'm not saying this is a daycare, but if another community has a business that, and part of the master plan, as this factory or this business closes down, the master plan may try to address how to either keep that employment or keep those services or keep that general idea of the status quo that they had before. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
okay,
yeah, you're absolutely right. There is, however, a state law that says a town cannot own a property and be competitive with other commercial entities of the same business. Currently, Brookline is in violation of that statute. Nobody has brought it up. Nobody's said you're doing something wrong either from the state or anywhere else. I do know at the time the town took it over and was going to operate a school there, I started looking at other towns. There was a similar situation in Brattleboro. The property got turned over to the town of Brattleboro. And I happened to be in the town office one day and asked the town clerk, did that get sold to the town of Brattleboro? Pursuant, not in compliance with the statutes? And do you know, within a week, that was transferred back to a 503C corporation and not the town. So we're lucky that no one has made us divest ourselves of it.
but we haven't, I don't know if you're saying this enough, but we've never run the daycare, we don't provide that service. We happen to take ownership of the building, and we have a tenant that happens to be a daycare center. And it's a nice fit for that building, right? It's set up for, works well, but we basically own a building and we're a landlord for somebody that happens to be a daycare center. Now, they're leaving, so we could decide that, I guess, we want to continue. I don't know, anyway, I don't know.
I don't know, well, I see what you're driving at, and it's a very good point. I don't know the details.
Now, if we ran a daycare center and because we're a town, we have a free building, we offered daycare for $10 and the market rate is $300, they'd say, you know, you're confusing the town,
Yeah.
so
Those are all
compete the
different
private
things.
market.
Yeah,
Then that would be a different deal.
yeah.
Anyway,
So we're not, yeah, we probably ought to have something in our plan about it.
yeah, I think where the plan is probably going at the moment. You know, we've had a few false starts and stops about trying to get a town-wide decision on what to do with that building, in particular, because the building is gonna be empty soon. And have a larger plan for all of our buildings, right? You know, what's our strategy for our buildings? I think that should be part of if we had a perfect world of town strategy, the buildings are a piece of that plan, right? We haven't gotten there. But I know that one of the things that Bruce is touting, and he's kind of thinks buildings all the time because he's the building guy. His recommendation is that we seriously consider making that town hall, the town hall. And that we consider repurposing or selling this building that I'm in. That building's much larger. It could be used not only as town hall, but for other purposes, a gathering place. We could potentially have some daycare there as well. We could potentially, you know, there's a lot of things, a lot of space in there. It could be used for arts, crafts, whatever.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is that what the town plan is supposed to do, right? I'm not saying
I
put a
think
daycare center in there, but trying to envision what the building should be and whether, you know, the town offices should be moving over to that building or or we just don't have enough time to do the if we had 2 years to do this, is that what the idea of a master plan or a town plan should do?
I think, clearly. Now, our plan could just say, you know, I think the planning committee's job, in my opinion, would be to spearhead all of that, facilitate all of that happening, right? What do the people want? What are we gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. I think in this compliance activity, we're not gonna address all of that, other than to say maybe that the planning committee should take a more significant role in leading the town strategic thinking development, the strategic plan development. Um, you know, that's part of what I would say is that phase two thing that you were referring to earlier, right? So anyway, I shared my thoughts. I don't have any more. So, well, where I was just on the communication thing about this telecommunication ordinance model. I don't know what that is, but that should come out. Um, uh, uh, let's see if I had anything else. I got to page 42, so.
Sounds like we ended in the same place for.
Yeah, we kind of ended the same thing. So I think those are the two or three things that I found that just jumped out at me. But I think, Leah, you're right. There's more especially under those policies and recommendations. There's stuff there that I think should be crossed out,
Yeah.
simply crossed out. And so
Well,
maybe I'll do that again next time.
And I do just want to, and I've looked at, you know, we're obviously not Putney. They have a very glossy town plan that with funding support, they got a grant and all this sort of stuff. But like, it's an interesting model. And I've looked at a couple of the other ones as well. And I do just want to kind of get a sense for, like, I certainly, if this experience teaches anything, it's like, don't saddle groups with things that they either don't know or their responsibilities or are not things that are really within their power to do. So I just want to kind of get clear on this approach that we've taken in the past, which is like to list a bunch of policies, which seem like a little bit motherhood and apple pie. Like, you know, the invasives one is remove all invasives. Like, well, who? if they're all private landowners, like, so how much of it should just be like statements of the things we think should happen in the town versus how much of it is stuff that we are actually going to action, and just getting really, clear as to how much of either we should have in the plan.
Well,
And also,
yeah, that's a good one, and I don't know what it says in there about removing invasives, but if it just said, if it said that the town will encourage people to be on the lookout for and remove their invasives, that's kind of a worthy thing, right? You know how I know about my invasives? What's his name? Drives by, and if he's got a keen eye and he spots invasives on my property and he sends me an email, and I go take care of, what's the guy's name that did all the work on the meeting house? Lives up,
Oh, Kerry Bourne.
Kerry Bourne. He
Yeah.
has got an eye for invasives. He calls me semi-regularly or emails me, let me know where my invasives are, and I go take care of them.
yeah. So we have I feel like Sam does the same for us, right? So that family's good at that. But and I have plenty, so don't judge me if you drive by and you see the knotweed. It's knotweed is on the list for this weekend. But but in all seriousness, I just like getting some clarity on this. Every section has this, here are the policies, and it almost is like education. It's almost more like, here are the things that this is the way we feel it should be. Not that it is. And then the recommendations, which are, here's what we're going to do about it. And obviously we haven't done anything about it. We haven't assigned those things out. So that, to me, we should just be super cautious about the recommendations, because those are the shalls, and those are the places that we're kind of obligating ourselves to take additional action, or other committees. And those kinds of things would need to be socialized beforehand, right? Like, so if we're talking about transportation policy or something, like, we better make sure Mark's on board. So just I guess that would be my only counsel. And so I have some thoughts about, all that as we go through it, but sounds like we kind of need to wait for an initial draft and maybe to talk to Matt.
I think you're hitting on exactly what Matt has asked us to do, which is identify those things that we don't think the town really is vested in, and so that he can get them out of the plan.
Okay.
You didn't have the benefit of the last discussion. That's exactly what I came away with it, because he wouldn't know if the flavor of the town has moved away from that stuff. And whoever wrote that before probably was pie in the sky. And anyway, so I think that's key input for us to give Matt. And I'm based on this discussion, I'm gonna go through it again and try to find more of that stuff that we can tell him to delete.
Well, and I guess I would caution, just like, we probably need a couple of recommendations. We probably need, and I know land use always comes up, and like whether we have appetite to even consider that in the future is an open question. But like, for some of this other stuff, anywhere where there's a recommendation, we're creating a responsibility. And so we just, we probably need a few, but not 5 for every subsection of the report, which is kind of the way it reads. And that's why they gave us the feedback that, like, we didn't actually assign any owners. And if I were, if I were a townsperson, I would say, like, well, I am a townsperson, but I would say, like, what happened to all this? We didn't do any of it. How come? So.
I think we may encounter a concept that Margot Dia gave Dot and myself on the hazard mitigation. So there really wasn't a choice of whether we, in the hazard mitigation plan, wanted to put in invasive species. I guess it being a part of the concept of our plan must mesh with our neighbors, and it must mesh with the state plan. I have a suspicion that those kinds of the telecommunications things, everybody has a telecommunication of one sort or another. I think if we don't want it, we ought to make it known. I wouldn't be surprised if what got showered back on us is the fact that we got to be consistent. It may not apply to you, but we want to be in harmony with this business.
So that's where Matt could come in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He would spot that stuff and say, now, you know,
Yeah.
you can change the wording, but you can't get rid of it because blah, blah.
Yeah, that's all I.
Yeah, no, that's a great observation. So, okay,
Well, I don't know where we are on today's meeting, it's 10 of 8. Or almost 10 of 8. Did you want to go further, or does anyone else have the offerings for observations on the plan, or do you want to continue that at the next meeting in addition to what specifics Matt is going to offer for how we handle certain things as we discussed earlier, as well as timing of things for future meetings? I can stay if people want to stay. I just wanted to make you aware of the time if you hadn't already.
what, what, what week, Leah? What's the date today?
Today's the 23rd.
23rd.
So we're
Okay.
dealing with that. So we're gonna have essentially we're the third Tuesday. The 14th from today is when we next meet.
Oh, and that's
The
the
14th of October.
That's
Now, the 28th of October is a Wyndham Regional County get together meeting. I had sort of signed up for it, but and I think Matt will be there, so he may not be here on the 28th.
Oh,
And you know, I view what's more important for my town than what's more important than socializing with people that I see every other month or every month, kind of, some in person, some not. So I give this function a priority, but I don't suspect Matt will be here on the 28th of October.
well, we can either do a couple things, right? If we don't need Matt to do something productive on the 28th, we keep it on the 28th. If we need him to be productive at the next meeting, and he can make it on a different day, we try to see if we can do it then.
Yeah, only know by accident, yes.
Uh,
So ask him if there's another day, if not that day, that he can.
well, if there's work that needs to be done at the next meeting, at the meeting he's here at,
He's gonna have the background data all changed.
yeah,
He's gonna have the
yeah,
community survey input all done,
yeah,
and he's gonna do a review, which I think he wants us to participate in, for the compliance with statute requirements in our plan.
yeah. Okay, so that's what so he's gonna facilitate the next meeting,
It looks like.
covering those things.
Yeah.
That'll probably tie up most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that point, we can also ask him, hey, we're identifying a bunch of stuff that we don't think that are candidates to remove from the plan, from the old plan, and get his feedback on it, I guess.
Now, I'll offer you one other item. On June 26th of 2024, the State of Vermont Agency of Commerce and Community Development issued a memorandum to towns in the state of Vermont, advising all towns of the 2024 legislative revisions affecting community planning and revitalization. They didn't number the pages, so I have no idea how many there are. I'm gonna guess there's 30 pages or so. I have it. I'm probably gonna look at it. If anyone else wants it, I'll scan it in and send it to you.
It's all the things that,
The state requires as a part of updating a plan.
so I think it'd be interesting to read that.
Okay.
I would expect Matt to
He should
have working familiarity with that thing, right? That's what we're paying him for, is to bring that stuff to the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sounds like we've kind of brushed over, although we know general topics we want to talk about at the next meeting. If you don't mind, I'll just wait until Matt responds to my inquiry of about pinning down some specific topics and timing of some things. I can then share with you what he sends back and get your thoughts on it. I assume we probably aren't going to disagree too much with what he thinks. And then I'll just set up the next agenda with consultation with all of you to see what items you would all like to include above and beyond that, and get you stuff a week in advance next time around, if not before. I will send you the updated revision of state expectations within the next 48 hours.
And I'll try to get the, process the contract
Okay.
through the select board, get them to sign it and.
Did he actually send you the contract? I hadn't seen it.
Yeah,
Normally they will.
Yeah,
He
yeah, he
did?
sent me
Okay,
what looks like a contract.
okay.
It's funny, the process he wants to use is the process we use, but 180 degrees the other way.
Oh,
He's like, you sign this contract, you send it back to me, we will then sign it and send you a fully executed copy. We typically take his, put it in ours and, so,
well, to make you feel better about this, when I was doing the grants, for the town, highway and so on and so forth, and Wyndham Regional, every state agency will send it to the town first. They will not sign it until after the town signs it.
yeah, so,
That appears to be a standard operating procedure for
Yeah,
them, for whatever reason.
yeah.
Everything I did with AOT, everything I did with GIA, everything,
Yeah.
it was always that way.
And I'm-
Even Mark, even the WRC.
I'm gonna encourage the select board to sign the contract that he sent.
Yeah.
And just go with their contract in this case,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
$4,000.
Yeah, it's not like the end of it.
Okay,
VLCT said when I said, should I be signing this thing? It's called MOR. And she says, well, I don't know, you better check it. I said, well, I signed it. And the only reason I signed it was, it wasn't asking for money. It didn't say we owed anybody money. We're not being taken over the dam if it's a scam.
Mhm.
And I flew.
okay,
Well, okay, anything else? Anyone wants to add? Say,
Just
whatever.
a tactical
Thank
item
you.
to send the recording
Yeah.
or transcript when available. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll try to do that this evening. If I don't, it's because for whatever reason, sometimes it doesn't do it right after. I have to wait till the next morning. So if you don't receive it tonight, you will receive it tomorrow morning.
Well, and just as a
Good.
matter of practice, I don't have time to do it really until the weekend. So I'm right on the edge of the 5 days, but hopefully nobody
Okay.
objects.
Yeah, right.
can I make a suggestion that whenever we have a hard copy of minutes for this particular meeting, that we consider forwarding that to Matt for the purpose of him seeing at least our first round discussion of stuff to consider adjusting or removing from the plan.
Yeah, right on. Good idea. I did that. I sent him a copy of the translation of the last meeting,
Okay,
the
Yeah.
day or
Yeah.
first day or second day afterwards. So
Yeah.
he had access to whatever we said. And in fact, Mike was kind enough to repeat what he had said initially to John and myself for you, Leah, when you came on. So the actual sum total of what got left out, fortunately, isn't as bad as it could have been.
Mhm, mhm.
Yep.
So, thank
And-
you very, very much.
And just one
Yeah.
last question. Did you, because I was not able to join until I think about 10 to 15 minutes in, did you approve the minutes from the last meeting?
Probably not officially, huh?
No,
You
we didn't
reviewed them.
officially make the motion, so we ought to do that.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the last two meetings of the dates I can't remember, because we did review them.
August 26th and September 9th.
Okay, that's my motion to approve those minutes as drafted.
Second?
Can we do that separately? Because I wasn't here on the 9th.
Oh,
Okay, sure.
You go ahead.
Okay, I motion that we approve the minutes as provided for our meeting of August 26th, 2025.
I second.
It's a second. Is any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 3, okay. Leah, were you available that day?
I don't even remember. I do it from the transcript, so I don't think I was, so I abstain
Okay.
from those. I'm not.
Okay, so, all right, so there's probably one abstention, three approvals.
Right.
Look, it's motion passed. Second motion is, shall we accept the minutes of the meeting of September 9th I believe Michael DeSocio and Stanley Noga were the only two people in attendance, so it's,
How's that work?
well, it's not a formal board.
It's not an official meeting.
We didn't really make
It's
any
not-
decisions
it's
there,
not-
other
right,
than
we
just
didn't make
get deals, ideas and thoughts from Matt, so.
Right, right.
They're more or less referencing topics and issues discussed as opposed to any decisions made, so. I
Yeah,
guess we
we
could
can-
just add them to our repertoire of minutes and let it go at that.
Yeah, the draft minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good question, Leah. You're keeping us on the ball. Okay, well, if there's no objection, I'll adjourn the meeting at 7:59.
That's a good meeting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all. Glad you could all make it, and I'm sorry for not recording this. I guess it's.
We'll survive. Don't worry about it.
You keep me honest if it's a little bit lighter in the minutes in the.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it's serving a purpose. Good evening, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Stop recording.
That was the best meeting we've had by far.
It is a good meeting. Actually, you want to stop the recording to the file.
Oh, good.